You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. Hello and welcome to Radio Nonsense, the official Comedy Club for Kids podcast, suitable for all ages from 2 and everything in between. I'm Tiernan, and I think I can safely say, yeah, absolutely everything is fine at CC4K HQ today. Nothing appears to be odd or weird or off-kilter at all. I mean, it's really nice. If I suppose little bit boring. You know, the farting animals, they're all still asleep. Obviously farting while asleep, but it's a bit calmer. The stinky hippos, they are safely in the fridge. And Linda is, well, nowhere around like normal, so I guess I can just relax and have this coffee that isn't actually here as no one's made it for me. Hang on. Is there a buzzing noise? Can you hear that? Can you? Oh yeah, sorry, I can't hear you, to find out if you can hear that. Alright, hang on, let me just shake my head a bit. Sometimes you get a bit of buzzing noise in your ears or something if they're a bit clogged up, so let me just check it's not my ears being funny. Hang on a second. No, there you go, I can't hear it now, so it's probably just me, wasn't it? So as I was saying, it's all just very calm and relaxed here at CC4K HQ today, and hey, there it is again! What is that noise? It is very annoying. What is it? Oh, it's gone again. Well, that is really, really irritating. Doesn't seem to be coming from my computer. You know, sometimes like computers get a bit overwarm and overheated, and then they sound like they might take off and fly into the sky. Mine isn't doing that, so I think it's okay. What about the fridge? Sometimes fridges make buzzing noises. Maybe I've put too many stinky hippos in it, because you keep sending them to me. So, no, hang on, no. Fridge is fine. What about... Oh, there it is again. What is it? No, I'm not playing the kazoo. Wait, hang on. Am I playing the kazoo? Let me double check. No kazoo. So it's not me. I also had my annual bath this morning, so I'm definitely not humming with stinkiness. So, what is it? Let me put this bucket on my head, and I'll see if that can help drown it out a bit. Right, it's not gone, but it is a bit better. Okay, I'm going to try and quickly do the Radio Nonsense points of order in here then, so you can hear it without that buzzing. It is weirdly cosy with a bucket on my head, if a bit echoey. I should probably do this more often, a bit like a sort of, like a knight, like a really rubbish knight. And instead of a sword, I should probably carry a mop. Anyway, sorry about all that. My plan was to have a cup of coffee that no one had made me, and then very calmly and relaxingly give a big thank you to all of you who've reviewed the show or emailed in this week. So I'll do that. I'm going to have to do that now from within a bucket. Thank you very much, firstly, to Ben, aged 10, oh, that rhymes, who's posted a lovely review on Audible, asking a question that will be answered in a later episode, and saying that he cannot stop laughing. Oh, goodness, Ben, you can't ever stop. That is very worrying. What about when you're asleep? Are you sort of, are you just sort of laughing 24/7, like even when you're on the toilet? How do you eat or drink anything without sort of spluttering it all out? You must be exhausted. I'm very worried about you. Let me suggest that you very quickly ask your noisome nudniks, I'm sorry, grown-ups, to tell you about what they did at work today, and I'm sure it'll be so boring. It'll all be, I spoke to Jeff about numbers going up and down, or I typed with all my fingers, or I helped a customer walk like a crab, and it'll be so dull that it should stop your laughing long enough for you to have a sandwich. The only problem, of course, is if they are too boring and you fall asleep and then you do laugh in your sleep and then you just carry on. That is, I'm not sure how to help with that. It sounds very worrying. Thank you for the review. Thanks for telling us about the laughing problem, and good luck with it, Ben. Good luck. Thanks also to, and I'm really sorry if I pronounce this wrong, but question mark 8 bracket asterisk pound sign asterisk from the UK. That is a lovely, unusual name there. I don't know if that's your full name again or just your first name, but they gave us a lovely 5 stars, and they said, love, 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 that's a lot of love, thank you. And then, watch this! Eek! Wow. Wow, I did watch that, and it was quite something to see. So thank you very much. That was very generous of you. And could I just politely suggest that you don't do that again, or your bum might actually fall off next time. Just be careful. Right, if you'd like to review this show, then please do. But you can always just also email in a message or a question for the show or anything you like, really, by getting your noisome nudniks, grown-ups, to help you send it in to podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. Don't forget, any Christmas questions need to be sent in by December the 14th to get answered by the special Christmas guest in a few weeks' time. We've got some very special Christmas Comedy Club for Kids shows coming up, which you can find out all about at comedyclub4kids.co.uk, and you can grab our t-shirts and books at comedyclubforkids.store, which you'll need to do very soon if you plan to make your noisome nudniks more interesting by buying them lots of clothes with stinky hippos on them so that they can show Jeff at work. Right, I think I can take this bucket off now as the noise seems to have... Oh, it's so annoying! Right, I'm going to have to find out what this is. While I do that, you listen to this most important bit.
Where does this buzz come from?
Today on Radio Nonsense, my guest is the amazing Hatty Ashdown, aka Natty Hatty, aka Hat-Trick Ashdown, up, left, right, LR start the 20th, or as our Oromo-speaking listeners know you, Giftin Haxifana Guda Hojetusana. But of course, Hattie, you are most well known for having the world's largest collection of things that have fallen off other things but no one knows what they are, for building the world's biggest ever Velcro zoo, and as our listeners will know you best, for revealing to the world that stairs don't actually exist. Hattie, how are you doing?
I can't believe I've started with a cough.
It was lovely. No one started with a cough on the show before. I thought it was a very dramatic entrance.
I was holding it in for all that. Thank you for that lovely introduction and reminding me of
maybe I can
a
deal
few
with
truths.
So I'm going to very carefully remove this off my head. You've done a lot. It's hard to fit it in.
It's hard to fit it all in. I'm definitely still
It's a
working
giant
on
fly.
the...
Oi! Giant fly, oi!
Things putting on things that are falling off. That's.
What are you doing? It's winter. Shouldn't you be hibernating or eating porridge? You've got a lot now. I know, whatever it is that flies do in winter. From what I've seen pictures, and you've got rooms full of them.
I've got rooms full of them. I've got back gardens full of them. I'm really into buying second-hand furniture and doing it up.
The old ladies that swallow flies are so annoying. We've got one down the road. She just keeps doing it. Down me. That's amazing. So when you say you do up the furniture, but wouldn't it be better than sort of just let it fall apart? Look, I'm just sorry about the old lady, but you can't be here, okay? I'm trying to record a podcast. You can't be here. It's really irritating. Have you been sticking the things back on?
Well, no, I've been sticking new things on.
Well, look,
you
firstly, see the sign?
Right.
This is a designated no fly
zone.
On
it. So if you've got a boring, shelf, I don't know, stick a nose on it.
Every time the old lady down the road runs out of biscuits, this happens.
I love that idea.
I'm going to send her
just
idea. 4,000 digestives and hope it never happens again. Because I think that's what I'm going to get to. I'm going to have to find that many biscuits.
Quite a boring shelf.
Hopefully then I'll see you next week when absolutely nothing will happen.
Well, we
finally
see
have a
faces
breather,
and eyes
drinking a
everywhere,
coffee
don't
that
we?
absolutely no one has made me.
Just the other day, the window downstairs, we've got one of those handle lower ones.
I'm here to eat
oh
them
my
all,
God,
and I won't go till I'm done.
Little eyes, and of course the handle is the mouth.
Bye.
And he's looking a bit angry, and then my son happened to get in a party bag from school, as you do, those funny glasses and the nose and moustache.
Yeah.
And we just happened to rest it on the window ledge handle. It just completely come alive.
That's amazing. Do you think it was looking a bit angry because people keep having to grab its mouth to open the window? Because I'd be really upset if every time someone went, "Oh, I need a bit of fresh air," just grabbed your mouth.
I love that the top one is locked. I've never found a key, never been able to find it. So that one is just like, you are not opening me, okay?
Wow, that's it. Just, do you think it's ever been opened?
No, not in the whole.
Is there a key in existence, or is it just never to be?
Not that I've been given.
Unlocked?
Oh, don't get me started. We've got a loft that I've never been into, and I don't know what's in there. And now it's built up so long that I'm too scared what might be up there. A whole new, but part of me also thinks there might be a whole new world up there, mightn't there?
Yeah, you should totally explore. There could be all sorts of secret treasures. there could be a whole civilization, you know?
Yeah. We went to see that film recently with the crocodile that's living up in the attic. So now I'm sort of hoping.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. But that was good.
No, I know it.
What's it called?
It's got a
Liar, Liar,
crocodile in it,
Alive or something. Rhymes with
That's it.
And
Lyle.
and it's a
something.
crocodile that
Yeah,
that sings and comes alive, and he's living, and they find that in the attic. So I'd be up for that.
Yeah, I can't believe. Do you know what? I can't believe you didn't see that film and immediately come home and check. That's the first thing I would have done. I would have been like, well, if they had a crocodile in their attic, it's worth a check.
I know, and he becomes a singing sensation, and goes off with the circus. We could have a whole life.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. After this, I'm gonna go and open the attic.
I think you absolutely should, because people find stuff in the most, random places just because they don't look properly. There's stuff hidden away in cupboards. You haven't checked under floorboards, in gardens. People find ancient Roman coins or whatever, or dinosaur bones on the beach. I just think there's a good. I don't really know percentages or anything, but there's probably a high one of them that you've got a chance that you've got a crocodile in your attic.
Okay, I will keep you posted.
Yeah. Would you? I mean, what would you? I suppose it depends on if it's a singing crocodile, or if it's just a real crocodile.
Yeah,
whether you'd have it as a pet.
I don't know. They do want a pet. My kids desperately want a pet. Oh my god, is that a good idea? Because they want a pet, but Dad doesn't want a pet. So maybe if I just plant one up there, then I can go, look, there's a cat up here. And then I was like, look, we have to keep it. And it sings. I mean, we can work that out. The singing bit's not a problem.
Cats sort of do sing. I don't think it's the singing anyone would particularly likes. It's often late at night and really.
Well, it's always used as what's that joke? Isn't it? Oh, they sound like a cat's chorus. That's often the same with someone who isn't a very good singer. But yeah, actually, and often they sound like babies crying. They're so identical to babies crying. I heard a cat the other day, and I was like, "Is that a baby in my garden?" Just like left, and it was a cat. It's this cat that regularly likes.
But you see, hang on, I'm going to just back up.
Okay, sorry,
because you think it was a cat. But how are you not certain that babies aren't employing cats as a distraction? Babies, people think they're having a nap. They're out and about in people's gardens up to mischief.
Oh my gosh.
And as soon as someone thinks they've heard it, they're like, get the cat in, swap. The cat's happy to take the fall.
That is a perfect explanation, because people always get a bit, if they've got a cat, they always get angry, don't they, if they go off, especially if they go off for a couple of days. Same, they get angry if babies go off for a couple of days. Not so much. They're quite happy if a baby goes off for a couple of days.
Because then you get some sleep, but also because people watch babies very carefully, but then when they have a nap, they're like, brilliant, I'm going to go out the room, make
no one's
tea,
watching,
do almost anything else, and that's when the baby's like, right, I'm off.
Yeah,
got business to do,
and they turn into a cat. Right. We've solved.
Right. Oh wow! I didn't guess the turning. I was sort of thinking working with cats, but I like your version that they babies have shape shifting ability. I mean, this would explain a lot. To be honest,
wouldn't it? Words.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, there's already some. We've barely started on this episode today, Hattie, and we've uncovered some big truths.
I know. Thank you.
Well, thank you. It's very exciting to have you here. And is your cough okay? Because obviously you started the episode with a cough, but I didn't know if it was you haven't coughed since. Was it just a dramatic letting me know you were here cough?
No, it was a cough. Sorry, listeners. It's been going on forever. But they say, when you feel a cough come, it's like you've got, and I say this to my kids, you breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and then you stop coughing. But who's got time to do that? Who's got, he's just cough.
And also, it's I thought it was quite a good way to enter. Like when you walk into a room, you're like, and everyone knows you're there. Like you've announced yourself.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah, but it can also be seen as a bit rude, can't it?
Well, it depends on if you run up to someone and do it in their face, then it's bad. Yeah, I think. But if you're just at the door, kind of maybe striking a pose, or something, then it's quite cool.
Yeah, coughs are never cool, are they? Really? Never. No. You don't associate it with someone being cool, like hi.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's not really. I'm the coolest guy. Yeah, it sort of undercuts it. Do you still? So so most of our listeners will remember when it was the pandemic a few years ago. We were taught that you had to cough. It was a bit confusing because they're all like, "Don't cough into your hands. You have to cough into your elbows."
Yes.
And then that didn't translate because there was no like you have to burp into your shoes or you have to fart into your knees or whatever.
Wow.
But do you still cough into your elbows or are you back to coughing into your hands?
Well, if I'm not coughing in my top, pull your top up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, do a bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My kids were really good at getting on board with the coughing in the elbow. I think it's something different, isn't it?
But then, see, here's my worry.
Okay.
I'm going to be disgusted. But sometimes when you cough, stuff flies out, right? Every now and then, right? And if you cough into your elbow, then you might build up a really gunky elbow.
Yes.
And that's horrible.
Yes, that's true. And depending on, if you're doing it on bare skin or on your coat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. No.
You just get it, because also like elbows they're kind of like little arm pockets. So it'll kind of stay there for ages. You'll just end up with a little gunky collection and then you'll have smelly elbows and nobody wants smelly elbows. I'm just saying.
Nobody talked about that, did they? No, it's true.
No.
Because you gotta, just don't cough.
Well, yeah, maybe
Breathe.
that's it.
There you go.
That's better. That's far more sensible. Well, I mean, again, thank you. Already such wisdom. and listen, one of the reasons I've asked you on the show, we have got a question that's been sent in that I think you're the best person that can possibly answer it. But before we get there, as is the case with this show, we've got some admin. Got to do some admin. I hope that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important, isn't it? You've got to have admin. If anything, I like it because it's admin. It's a small amount. You don't want ad max. That's too much. But a small amount is fine. So look, listen, the first thing is that this is, I don't know if you're aware of this, Hattie, but this is an audio podcast. So that means our listeners hear it mostly with their ears. But as we say, we don't discriminate. If they want to listen to it with their knees or their bum, that's also fine.
Good.
But generally, they'll listen with their ears. And because it's audio, I just wondered if you had a favourite noise that you might want to either tell us about or preferably even make for us.
Well, this is such a hard one because I've got so many. But it's just one that kind of... It's like a greeting, I guess, and I feel like by the mere sound of it, you know exactly what they mean. It's a human noise generally, but maybe there's an animal that makes it. And for me, it's just pure joy. If I heard a member of my family normally might do this at the back door of my house, if they were popping round, you might hear, woo!
I loved the build up and that was not what I was expecting. and I like that a lot. So that's what happens. But you said family, but is it just people?
Oh yeah, it's not just confined to family, but I feel like I've come from a long line of woohoos. If it was that thing of going around the back door of my auntie's house. Why, I don't know, but it was just like, and to let them know you're coming, you sort of go, woo, like that. And I just find it so joyous and so friendly. And
it's a great way to we talked about coughs to say you're there, but that's a better way to say you're there, I think, to go, woo!
Yeah.
I like that. And I wonder, do you have to do it at the back door? Because at the front door, there's a bell, but the back door often doesn't have a bell. So you have to do your own bell.
Yes! Maybe that's where it comes from. You're sort of doing your own bell. But it's like, I can't come in by just going, hello, or just walking. Yeah, it's to not make you scared, which actually I just thought, why? I mean, really, I don't know if I should say this really, but like you wouldn't really get a burglar come in the back or something and go, woo! I mean, if they did, it'd be less intimidating.
You'd almost welcome them. Come in, have a cuppa, take what you like. Yeah.
I mean, they'd probably get a lot. They'd be able to take a lot more stuff because you go, all right, just take it. I've had enough of that old kettle anyway. Just have it.
That's it.
But if you're more inoffensive, this is what burglars need to do. Not be so aggressive. Just come in with a nice woo.
I like it. I like it. But also, you said you're not sure if animals make the noise, but there is a little bit of like I can imagine a bird sort of making a woo, like a little woo bird.
Yes, well,
you know.
yes, actually, I definitely think there's some woo birds. I don't know.
It must be. That's probably what they're. I'm certain that's what they're called. Actually, I said probably. I'm certain they're called woo
The
birds.
woo birds.
I guess they would then trick you because they'd be in your garden, make that noise. You'd think there's someone.
Oh,
at the back
here we
door.
go. Yeah, it's the cat
Yeah.
and baby all over again.
Yeah, they're working as a team.
Is it?
Oh, it's good. It's a great noise, and I'm sad 'cause we don't really have a back door. We're in an upstairs flat, and I might start make. Is it safe to make that noise at the front door?
Yeah, sort of like before especially if it's your own house and you're putting the key in, you're letting them know you're coming in, not to make. I know my husband sometimes. He's very quiet gentleman. Sometimes he makes me jump. I don't even know he's come in the house. Like, oh,
Wow.
he gets annoyed at me. He goes, "I've just come in," but he's very quiet. So yeah, he could do with wooing a bit. Yeah, a bit of woo.
Has he considered a career as a ninja?
No, he should though, shouldn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard skill to have, but if you can move around silently, he should definitely look up sort of job vacancies as ninjas because they need that sort of.
Yeah, I need that sort of quiet.
Yeah.
Get the key in the door so quietly,
I couldn't do that. I make noise. I'm just endlessly noisy.
Yeah.
Like everything I do makes a load of noise, and I don't know how to not do that. I need to take some lessons. Really, it's difficult. Everything I do, take out keys, jangle, 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 open the door, like everything. It's like a sort of one man band.
I know. And now I was getting up and down from my chairs, going, oh,
yeah, all those
Slurp.
noises. I do all those. Oof, yeah, every day,
Slurp.
every day.
Yeah.
It's very hard. Well, that is a fantastic noise. Thank you very
Welcome.
much for that noise. That's a real treat, and haven't had one like that before. We haven't had an entrance noise before, I think, and hopefully all our listeners will now take that on and start making that when they come home.
Ooh.
And of course the other bit of admin I have to ask, this is very important, is that this is a family friendly show. It's suitable for all ages you can possibly imagine. Can you imagine an age, just out of interest?
Yeah, I guess I'm imagining anything from 7 to 11.
Yeah, that's a good range. Yeah, we go all the way up to really 4,000, 5,000, but not 100. If you're 100, you're not allowed to listen to the show. It's a very long story.
Right, okay.
Been through it a lot, but every other age. So -4 to the Bronze Age, whatever you wanna is fine. And because of that, though, I just have to check if there are any rude words that you won't be saying on this show.
We'll be trying to not say. My son started saying, I don't even know where he's got it from really, but I'll be trying to not say holy moly.
Whoa. Wow. No, please don't say that, because we were getting holy moly, we will get in trouble if that is said on this podcast. That is, up there with the worst. Holy moly. Is it just do you think is it like is it a holy? I don't really know much about that word, but I'm assuming it's either a very holy mole,
Yes,
who's got this title, or maybe it's guacamole, but you've put holes in it.
Yeah.
So it's not as good.
Yeah, mole. I feel like it's a very naughty mole. Yeah, I feel like there's something.
Oh, holy moly! Yeah.
It's that holy moly.
That's true.
But it's also said when like something like mind blowing happens as well, which obviously makes a rude word come out of us, doesn't it? Out of like,
of course,
shock. So you then, go holy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I should just say for this, I've just quickly checked through some of the terms and conditions. I think you are fine to say holies molies.
Holies molies.
Plural is
Okay.
fine. But please don't say holy moly on the show. We will get in a lot of trouble. I will have to deal with a lot of complaints sent in by Pigeon, and I just don't want to deal with that. So
Okay.
thank you. Thank you for not saying it. I won't say
Okay.
holy
I won't say holy moly anymore.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Right, Hattie, listen, we've had this question sent in, and I should tell you this question is this question has been sent in by not sus. I think SUS. So, but they've said they're not sus, so not sus. I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to distract us from the fact they are sus, or if they're not sus and they're someone else entirely, and they want to make sure we don't think they're sus, or I'm not, I mean, I'm very confused. Or maybe not is their first name.
I
Sus is their surname.
when I did see this, am I allowed to say I saw this?
You are allowed to say you saw. Absolutely.
I thought she
yeah.
meant like she's put yours sincerely, and then she's put in brackets not sus, meaning, and then she put I'm 10, meaning so kind of saying, look, I'm 10. I'm not going to be yours sincerely. That's what I thought she was saying.
Right. Oh, I see. So at 10, you can't be sincere about it.
Yeah, and also like, or yeah, there's that, or yeah, probably more that, but also yours sincerely. It's a very grown up thing to say.
It's quite boring. I don't want to be sincere about a lot of things. It's rubbish. Isn't it?
I don't use it.
Who wants to be sincere? No, me either. Let's be like, I was here. From me.
Bye. I do love just doing a bye.
Yeah, it's the opposite of your woo. I like it. It's very good. Well, because I wondered, as if you ever had this like term at school, but like sus, something's a bit sus, and that means it's a bit suspect, a bit off. Oh
yeah.
And I did wonder if they're like, I'm not sus, I'm not I'm just, I am sincere.
Yeah.
I'm not suspect.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I'm 10.
I think it's probably more like that.
Yeah.
But either one.
I don't know. It's either that or they're a sausage, and they're not a sausage. I suppose. I don't know. It's who knows, but they are not sus, and they are 10.
Yeah.
They don't say 10 what? I'm assuming years. It could be frogs.
Yeah.
Be,
10 legs.
Banjo.
We don't 10 legs.
Could be 10 legs. Could be I'm 10 legs. Yeah. There's a lot of questions. There's already a lot of questions just about who they are, but they've sent this in, and this is a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
And they've very kindly put Dear Tin, but this is for you, Hattie, but they put Dear Tin, and why don't cars fly?
Oh my gosh. Well, I saw this, as you know, and it was just one of those questions where like, it's such a good question. And it's just one of those things where you're like, yeah, why have I not thought of this? Honest to God, I haven't thought of this question. And now I've just gone down a worm. I mean, she, Soz of 10 probably is too young to know the great Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but I'm sure.
Oh wow!
I'm sure if she's not watched it, go watch it. And I was just like, yes, I mean, that's what we all loved from that film. For those that don't know, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, he builds a flying car from a boat. Actually, is it a boat as well? I think it's a boat as well. Just to be,
I think Chitty Chitty Bang Bang becomes like anything people need it to, don't they? 'Cause it's just an awesome magic car.
Yeah, it's magic, and obviously magic isn't always available since the war, since World War II. It's harder to get hold of since World War II.
Much harder.
That's
yes.
what my little looky, and obviously Harry Potter. I'm just thinking of famous flying cars now.
Yes, yeah.
Harry Potter, but well,
I mean,
okay, go on.
Can I ask? Do you drive a car on the ground? Are you a ground car driver?
No, you see, I can't.
No,
I can't drive. I took 3 tests, and they said,
were they driving tests or just any old tests? Were they like maths tests? Or I'm just checking you took the right tests.
They were cough tests. Sorry.
Right, sure. You passed. Yeah.
No, they said that's not enough. They said you've got to do at least another 3 tests.
Right.
No,
it's very hard.
And I run out of the magic coins to do any more. But I just think I'm not a natural driver. But were it a flying car, maybe different, because one of the things I have trouble with, I think I just self-diagnosed, as you do, was spatial awareness. Right. The instructor would say, "You're right. You can move over. You're miles away from the curb or whatever." It was always my awareness. If you're in the sky, no problem. You haven't got and I think this might be the reason. And I'm skipping a bit because I think there's like probably loads of reasons why they don't fly, but it probably is that the skies would get too congested. I mean,
yeah, because I think because you say there's like you got lots of space, but there are aeroplanes, there are geese, there are rain cloud. There's quite a lot. There is a lot going on in the sky,
but it's less restrictive. A road has set out paths, this is maybe the reason there'll be a lot of accidents. And who would monitor it? I mean,
yeah, and you wouldn't want traffic because then you couldn't see the sky. Like from like at night, if there was traffic, you wouldn't be able to see the stars or the moon. So you just see cars.
it would be beautiful, but also foggy. I am just imagining a lot of cars crashing into buildings. I love the way
that is terrible.
I love the way the idea of them having I can't think of the thing you have, a parachute, and just go, oh well.
Yeah.
Let's get another one.
Well, that is it, because I think you've highlighted like that. I do drive I'm going to start calling them ground cars now.
Yes,
but the ground cars, they're bad for the planet. They and people, they can people can have accidents, and you think that actually you don't want things that are bad for the planet in the sky, but also if you have an accident in the sky, you have an accident, and then you'd fall out of the car as well, which would be even worse. You go,
yes,
oh no, and that would be quite scary. But also, I'll tell you what I'd be worried about is, where would you park? Because like, what if you think, oh, I'll just pull in here, and then you're like, oh no, I'm in the sky. Oh, I've fallen out. Like, you can't just nip out to the shops. You'd have to land it. It'd be quite tricky.
Well, yeah, I guess the idea would be a futuristic thing, where there would be places to. I did get a few little facts. Would you like to hear some?
I would hit me up with some.
Well,
facts.
sort of facts. I mean, whether they're true or not, who knows? So basically, as I said, they did try to make one. The Wright brothers and Henry Ford tried to make an autoplane, but the one in 1917 by Curtiss autoplane, but never took full flight and didn't look like a car. Saw a picture of it, and basically it's just got like wings of an aeroplane, like a typical.
So it's a plane,
but the sort of bit that would be normally the body of a plane was just a lot smaller, like almost like a square. I was like, okay, right. What we want is wheels, and those wheels to fold up and go into the sky, and no one seems to have been able to have done that.
No, I mean, would you? Because do you think planes would get upset as well? Because like they've got a job right now. And then imagine if all the cars were like, no, we do this.
Yeah, beep. I mean, road rage is terrible. Air rage. It would just be a lot of beep, beep.
But also all the planes would be like, this is my job. Like, what are you doing? This is what I do.
Yeah.
Get out of my area. This is my expertise. I don't want all these cars coming up here. And you wouldn't get the little peanut snacks or whatever as well,
I mean, obviously, like me with my driving test, we'd have to take there'd have to be some kind of test, right?
Oh my goodness, that'd be terrifying.
You imagine?
That'd be terrifying, and learning to drive in the sky would be really scary. Yeah.
Although there is still a part of me that I mean, I took my test a long time ago, and I keep saying I'm going to take it again. But if flying ones come back, I think I would think about it.
Yeah. Well, there's what not sausage, 10 sausages doesn't know. Like driving tests in the UK, I should say, because they're different all around the world. But in the UK, they make you do lots of things that then you never ever do again once you start driving. They're like reverse into space, doing this and this and this, and then when you start driving, you're like, I'm never going to do that. I don't have to do it anymore. It's rubbish. So you learn lots of things that you never have to do again. So I wonder if like flying cars, they'd make you like land in a tree, and then you probably wouldn't have to
just to see how you would cope with landing in a tree. And I do like the idea, though. There was Henry Ford made one, and where was it? So this was in 1926, and it was called the Flyver. But no wheels, plane, and it was like called the plane for the everyman. And I liked the idea that it was a woman, but they was like, it's got no wheels. But the idea was it was small enough to fit in your office.
I like the idea of having you're just in the office, and then you're like, okay, I'm going home now, and you go straight out the window. Just jump in and you fly straight out the window from your
I just really imagined this little compact sort of plane, and maybe you press something and then it went, and then it all sort of came out a little bit. But you know, like people take their fold-up bike to work and put it in their office.
Yeah.
Their little plane.
Well, that would be really cool. That would be really cool. I like the idea of you just have it in like a little suitcase. You take it to work and then you fly home. That would be amazing. Yeah.
It would.
Yeah.
But sadly, I think they'd just be too big, too loud, and too expensive. Ahead. But that's boring, isn't it? I think anything, I would say, in answer to her question, anything's still possible, because it was obviously
there's got to be a planet friendly and clever way to do it. I think, where we all would you like to, you know, because also Sis asked about like cars flying, but would you sort of be up for like just your own pair of wings?
I would be up for it. Whether it be possible, again, it's the power that's needed. Because I was reading that about helicopters, and obviously there's a reason why they're noisy. They are so noisy. It's because they've got to get up all that noise to get up. So imagine,
and that's the thing,
how noisy would we be? We'd be like, woo!
When also your arms would get so tight. I worry I'd fall out of the sky, because every now and then I'd be like, oh, my arms are too tired, I can't be bothered. Like,
it's got to be autopilot, surely. There's got to be.
Yeah. You're on it more like sort of, what is it, like Iron Man has just sort of shoes that can like have rockets on. I'd be more up for that. I was also wondering, like, but now you don't drive, so you don't have to deal with this. But I drive, and my daughter sits in the back, and we say before we leave, you need a wee, have a wee before we go, have a wee before we go, make sure you have a wee before we go. I don't need a wee, and she always goes, I don't need a wee, and 10-15 minutes into driving, I need a wee every single time. And if you were in the sky, what would I just have to let her wee out the window? And I suppose that's what birds just poo on people when they're flying, don't they? So I suppose...
Oh my gosh, this is another reason why we can't have it. We've got enough of birds pooing on us. We can't have toddlers weeing on us as we're walking to work. Suddenly we feel a little driplet, and we go, is it starting to rain? Oh no. Because by the time it's reached down to us walking, it would just be a little droplet of wee.
That would be horrible. That would be absolutely horrible.
I've gone really yucky now, haven't I? Sorry.
Well, but I think you're right. I think this could be a big factor. Who wants to be weed on the way to? Obviously, you'd have your own office plane that you'd be flying, but you know, if you didn't have that, all sounds like a lot of hassle, doesn't it? Why don't bikes fly? You know, that happened in, again, listeners be too young, but E.T. or they will have flying bikes. That seemed like good fun. There's we should just have everything flying, maybe.
If there was something we could, well, that's what's often been talked about, isn't it? I mean, you see films that are set in the future, it's always that everyone's flying, or, you know, they're on a hoverboard. And oh God, I forgot what I was going to say. I was so flying then. I was just like imagining myself flying that I forgot my original point. Oh, it's gone.
It does sound relaxing. I mean, like that, you just sort of, but that's the thing. If you were flying in the car, you'd probably be like, oh, just this is so relaxing, and then you wouldn't pay attention.
Yeah.
So
it would be too relaxing.
Yeah. I would hope that if we did get flying cars, that all the birds would then start walking around on the ground, because they'd just go, I don't want to be up there with them.
Yes. What's that famous book? Is it Eden and the Blyton book? What's the famous book where the family switch with the crow family, and the family becomes crows? Oh, Suze will know. I bet she's shouting it now.
Yeah, I know in the magic in Roald Dahl's, is it the magic finger where they'll get wings?
Yes, that's what I mean. The magic finger.
Oh, that is the one. Right, yeah.
Eden Blyton. What am I talking about?
Yeah, she might have written it first and then said to Roald Dahl, "You can have it. I've got too many."
But I loved that book as a child, and still do. And I tried to read it with my kids, but they were sort of a little bit terrified of my turn into birds. Which would be great. But yeah, we all have dreams about flying. Do you have dreams about flying where you're actually flying?
Yeah, not for a long time, but I definitely, I have done before. Yeah, as a kid, I used to have a recurring dream where I got to sit on a giant eagle and we'd fly everywhere. And that was quite cool. That was quite a good
But
one.
you wasn't actually flying. You were being
No.
transported.
I was being I'm too lazy. This is the thing. I'm too lazy to fly. I don't want the effort of flying.
Right.
And I suppose this is why Sus says cars. You know, at least you sit in a car and you drive it, but you don't have to. You don't have to do the flapping. You don't have to do.
So
the
you're
flying
less
around.
keen on the thing of you actually flying. You want.
Yeah, I don't want that.
And but I think it is that idea. I mean, I can't speak for her, but I think it is that idea of just being able to see something driving and then go, oh no, we're not going to make it in time. We better fly this last bit, And I think that's what we really want to see. But
do you think, now this is, I think, must be another reason. I reckon everyone then would leave things till the last minute because they knew they could just fly there. And then everyone would be late all the time.
And crashing into each other in the sky.
Yeah.
With we falling out.
I think, and that sentence right there is why cars don't fly.
Yeah.
That crashing into each other with we falling out is the worst image. Wow. Well, thank you, Hattie. Hopefully not Sus, not Sus
Yeah.
10 is happy with that. I think you've given a very, a lot of answers there, but I think that's the big one. It be crashing with we falling out. No one wants that.
No one wants that. It's too big, too loud, too expensive. A bit like having children. Or also could be describing me.
Fair enough. Well, listen, Hattie, thank you so much for coming on the show and explaining that. Have you got an exciting rest of your day, week, year, decade? Are you still collecting? Have you got furniture to fix up and stick weird things to, or just coughs to be doing? Or
well, we all know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be seeing if there's anything living in my attic.
Oh yes, of course.
So I'm going to look into that. I feel like I need to wear some kind of protective wear just in case something might jump out. But this is honest. We've been here 6 years and I've never opened it. And I'm going to face the fears. It could be a flying car up there. Who knows?
Please update and let us know. And I will let listeners know because it's very exciting. Good luck.
Thank you for having me.
Maybe find a singing crocodile.
Thank you for having me.
I want to hear this weird rattling and buzzing sound.
Thanks so much to Hattie for being on the show and answering Not Sus's question. I do hope that Hattie finds out what's in her attic, and if it is an all-singing, all-dancing crocodile like Lyle, then I hope she brings him on the show next time. Not Sus, I do hope you like your answer, but if not, why not try feeding your complaint to whatever lives in your attic, and then I will never have to hear it. If you have a question that needs answering, or you want to send in anything else really at all, then get your noisome nudniks to help you. Email us at podcast@comedyclubforkids.co.uk. Check out our live shows at comedyclubforkids.co.uk and grab a t-shirt or book at comedyclubforkids.store. As you can hear, I'm still in the bucket, but I do need to find out what this noise is, so I'm going to very carefully remove it from my head now.
Hey!
Oh, it's a giant fly! Oi!
What?
What are you doing here, giant fly? It's winter. Shouldn't you be hibernating or eating porridge or whatever it is that flies do in winter, landing on very warm poos?
I had to run away as an old lady trying to eat me.
Ah, those pesky old ladies that swallow flies, they are so annoying. We've got one down the road and she just won't stop doing it.
Tell me about it.
Look, I'm sorry, giant fly. I'm sorry that's happened to you, but you can't be here.
Why not?
Well, do you see the sign? This is a designated no-fly zone.
Oh, sorry. Bye.
Oh, well, thank goodness for that. Every time the old lady down the road runs out of biscuits, this happens. She just starts eating flies instead. I am sick of it. I'm going to have to send her 4,000 digestives to make sure that it doesn't happen again. I think that's what I'm going to have to spend my afternoon doing now. Rubbish. I thought I was just going to have a lovely time drinking a coffee that wasn't there. Anyway, see you next week when hopefully absolutely nothing will happen and I can finally have a bit of peace and quiet.
Excuse me, did you say 4,000 digestives? I've come here to eat them all.
Bye. You have been listening to
Comedy Club for Kids presents.
Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. It's the end.